Barker Middle School, this is Mr. Snyder with another instructional video. This time we're going to be going over the student schedule. Specifically, we're having issues with where the blocks line up on the blue and the gray days. There's some confusion with that with impact and lunch times. So what I did is I created a Google Doc, and I'm going to share that with everybody right next to this link. So students will be able to go in and create their own schedule. It should make it easier for them to see. I think it's important to understand why we're having this problem is that on a typical day in a traditional setting, we have 3 different lunches and 3 different impact times. Depending on which hallway your student is in, they would have a different lunch or different impact. Obviously, we don't want all of our students in the lunchroom at the same time, and it just makes it easier for everybody to have 3 different schedules. But when we went to online learning, we have the same lunch and the same impact for everyone. So a little different. We didn't want to change it in RDS because our goal is to obviously get back to school in person, and to change everything would just be a ton of work, a ton of switching, and it would make it really, really confusing when we came back. So here we go. So I'm going to go into my student's RDS. My son, Charlie Crusader, his schedule is right here. Now, if you watch the other video, you would know that to click on the printable schedule in the right-hand corner, and this will give me the blue and the gray days. You can see those over here, blue and gray days. So if I'm looking at Charlie's schedule, I'm going to look at the period. That's important, the teacher, and then blue and gray over here to the right. Right off the bat, for Charlie, he has math, first period, with Miss McCrae. And if I look at blue and gray, there's an X under B and G. So I have math every day, blue and gray, first block. So I'm going to go to this Google Doc, and the link will be by the video. I'm going to type in McCrae and math. I'm also going to go to the gray day and put McCrae and math. Okay, so my first block is set. My next class, I look down here. Oh, I have 2 period 2s. That must mean that I have 2 different classes, one for blue day and one for gray day. I go over here. I see that on gray days, I have Mr. Eldridge for social studies. It says social studies right over here. So on gray days, I have Eldridge for social studies. I'm going to go to my schedule for second block. I'm going to type in Eldridge. I'm going to type in social studies, and I'm going to leave it because it's just for the gray day. I go back and I can see on blue days for second period, blue days, I have Miss Mecklenburg for science. Miss Mecklenburg for science. So I'm going to go up to my block 2, which is right here. I'm going to type in Mecklenburg. I'm going to type in science. All right. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I have 2 impacts listed next, and they're listed for third block. So this is because in B hallway, in a traditional setting, your impact would be your third block. You're going to ignore impact G. That stands for impact gray. The reason we have 2 impacts is because that allows us to group the students for both reading and math, and they can have 2 different impact classes, and they can go to the teachers that are going to help them out the most. For online learning, we're only using impact blue. So for Charlie Crusader, his impact teacher is Miss Parsons. So I'm going to put that in for both under impact. Right here, I'm not putting it for block 3. I'm putting it for impact because it is my impact teacher right here, impact blue, right there, Mrs. Parsons. So I'm going to put Parsons for that. It's impact, so I don't need to put the subject. I'm going to put Parsons down here. That's my impact teacher. That should help out a lot. I'm going to skip down now to my 4th block. Even though it says 3rd block here, I'm going to find my 4th block because we're flip-flopping impact. Now, this is not true for every student. Some students have their 3rd block and then their impact is 4th. But for this hallway, it's showing right here. So I have 2 different 4th block teachers. So I know that I have a different one for the blue day and another one for the gray day. So I have Mr. Parker on blue days for wellness. Mr. Parker Parker. Wellness on blue days. My Block 3 teacher on gray days, right here, is Mr. Sterling, band. Mr. Sterling for band. So I'm going to type in Sterling. I'm going to type in band. Now I've only got one class left. I'm going to look at my schedule. I see fifth period. There's only one listed. That makes sense to me because I see it blue and gray every day over here. So I have Siebert for language arts. Fifth block every day. Mr. Siebert for ELA. And now I have this schedule. If I change it, so when you open it, it's going to make a copy of this. So just type your name in there and that will save to your Google Docs. So students, you can go back to this whenever you need it. And this will be your schedule unless we have to change something up. I misspelled wellness, so I'll correct that. But I hope that helps. If you guys have any problems, please let us know. Thank you.